guys, got an exciting video for you guys today. As you can tell, we already did some upgrades to my trailer. We were gonna film this video at night to really just add to the effect, but we ran into some issues, which is normal for us here at Ellis Nasty.
We love issues.
As you can see, we went from a triple axle to a tandem axle trailer. But we made it, and that's all that counts. And we got some big announcements for you guys today. What we have in the box here, very special. You guys can probably already tell by the title. We're gonna be talking about Slick Rick. We got it back from HR Innovations, and it's absolutely badass. But what's even more badass is this thing right here.
Oh, it's brown sugar.
Brown sugar, my 1200 horsepower LS Swap Turbo Holley EFI G-Body. We are giving this thing away. Guys, we are down to the last 2 weeks of the giveaway. The last 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, this sucker right here is going to someone's house. It could be your house, but you can only win it if you're entered. So go to lsnasty.com and get entered to win. We have a limited edition shirt. Today is Thursday when you guys are seeing this. The shirt will be available until Sunday. It is a throwback to one of the OG LS Nasty shirts, but we updated it. I'll put it on the screen right here. We got the new Nasty Racing, Does Your Car Run As Fast As Your Mouth t-shirt. These shirts are triple entry, so every $1 you spend on these shirts, you get 3 times entries. They're only available till Sunday. If you don't get your order in by Sunday, you will not be able to get these shirts. These shirts are absolutely badass. One of, I think, the all-time favorite sellers. You know, does your car run as fast as your mouth? Does your car run as fast as your mouth? If you have this car, it probably will, because I don't know if your mouth can run as fast as this. So every $1 you spend on lsnasty.com gets you entered to win. Every $1 you spend on these shirts gets you 3 times entries. lsnasty.com. You guys don't want to miss your chance to win this absolutely badass piece of nasty racing history. I don't know where your excitement level is. Mine's about here, and I'm only this tall, so that's a lot of excitement. This build here is a long time coming. Very excited to have it back. We have a little bit of work left to do before we're ready to test. Also, this trailer door has one hell of a spring on it. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? Slick Rick back in the building. If you guys haven't seen Devin's videos over at HOLLEY Innovations, I'll put a link in the description below. Believe it or not, Devin and I are good buddies. So everyone thinks that he's just like straight up talking cash shit on me in his videos, but really, we go back and forth. So this thing was at his shop. If you guys haven't seen the updates, haven't seen what he's done to it, you guys are lacking. Tighten up. But we're going to pull it out here today. I was going to film this video at night because this thing has some badass lights on it. So in my mind, I was like, damn, we get back, we pull it out, it's dark out, the lights are just popping off. We're like, hell yeah, it looks so sick. And you guys are like, this is either really cool or really stupid. And then we go from there. But as you guys can tell, it's the next morning because we had trailer tires going flat and flat spots and some driver error issues. And
you say it was a loft issue?
I ran out of talent at some point. So be sure to check your trailer game before you hit the road. So we're going to get the sucker unstrapped. As you can see, we have one heavy duty strap right here, which is slack. And then we have one extreme heavy duty strap right here. And that's how I strap my cars down, you know. That extreme heavy duty strap will really seal the deal. So this thing's badass. Devin did an amazing job. We are going to do kind of like the rest of like the button-up stuff. We got to put a drive shaft in there. We got to plumb it. We're going to make some modifications to some things. And really, you know, we treat these cars as tools. So we try to set them up to where they are as user-friendly as possible. So we try to make it where we're not going to tear shit up all the time, which that's sometimes a challenge in itself. And then we make it to where they're easy to work on. And if we do have any parts failures, we have other spare parts around. So let's get this thing out of the box. We'll get it in the shop, and then we're going to thrash on this. We're taking this to FL2K. We're going to have it hopefully tested and everything before we go down there, so we got all of our ducks in a row, and then we should be good to go. So yeah, that's what we got. So let's get Slick Rick out the box. I hope you guys are excited. Slick Rick is back. The Black Sheep's coming back. Slick Rick's back. The Red Lobster motor's coming back. So we're going to have, like, just right there, 3 absolutely badass hot rods that are going to be up and running. Not to mention, we got the Corvette that's up and running. That sucker's badass. We got Hank that's up and running. We got David's car. In the arms. It needs a motor in it.
Not running.
right, here we are with Slick Rick. Ava, what do you think? She's not impressed. All right, guys, so here it is. If you guys haven't seen the video of our HDR Innovations, I guess we'll kind of give you guys a brief rundown of what we got going on. So Devin does wiring, plumbing, and stuff like that, and we brought him this car with a bunch of parts. And as you know, like, we had it somewhere else to get wired and kind of finished up. And then the whole reason why we're not doing it is not because we don't have the capability to. It's because time. We want to get it done. We want to take it to FL2K. When this whole deal started, we were supposed to have it done well before then. And the car kind of sat around, and then it came back to our shop, and then we brought over Devin's, and Devin did a great job getting it done. And really, it's just, he does a good job. We literally said, this is what we need, dot, 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 dot. He does a lot of cars of this caliber and racing, so it was a perfect fit. And he is a HOLLEY guru, so he got the HOLLEY all set up, wired it all nice and neat, everything's labeled. Got the ECU Masters, what is the PMU 16AS, which is like Matt, look at Matt's smile when we say that. Matt loves it because that is like nerd central. So, yeah, we picked the car up, and it's got like pretty much everything on it that we need. And then from here, we're going to go through and then give it like the last, what, 10%? Yeah. Which is like, you know, some odds and end things we got to do, drive shaft, we got to take everything off, seal everything up, get it like really ready for the final assembly. Yeah. So we'll let Matt talk to you about everything we got, because this is more his realm. He knows, like, connector wise. Like, Matt and Devin are talking about connectors, and they're like, oh yeah, this connector and that connector, this and that. And I'm over here like, are you talking about like a 110 like wall outlet or what? All right, take it away here.
So it's pretty close. Right now it's just punch list stuff. So we got to do the brake lines, plumb it, get everything ready to plumb. Very minimal wiring. There's really not gonna be anything. Most of it's going to be configuration of the ECU Masters, because it comes unconfigured, and it's a lot more than, I mean, you could set it up to where.
Explain to them what ECU Masters is. I don't mean to cut you off there, but what is the ECU Masters, and what are we using it for here?
So it's a PMU, so power management unit, or it could be called a PDU, like the Motec PDU. It's kind of like, you guys, smart wire relay board. You know, that's the very basic form. So we have the PMU 16, which has got 16 outputs, another 7 low side outputs, and then all the inputs. And it's got a software that's highly configurable. I've done transmission control with it. It's really limitless. If you can learn how to program the CAN system and the coding in it, you can get it to really do anything. So that's one of the things that I want to do with this, because we could put like a smart wire on it, but that's basically, you turn the switch on, an output comes on, you turn the switch off, an output goes off. There's so many more things you can code into it. So we got this right here. This is the PMU. It's very small, very compact, uses the Auto Sport connectors. Very high quality.
Look how nice everything is with all like the angled boots and heat shrink and all that. I mean, this thing right here, all you wiring gurus out there, you guys are probably like,
oh yeah, totally. And then so over here we got our keypad. I don't know if you can see it from this side. It's a 8-position keypad. Well, on this car we could probably get away with even a 4-position, because with this you can do different things, like you can have everything on the same button. Your ignition, so you hit the button one time and the ignition comes on, you hold the button down and it starts it. You hit it again, it goes off. If you hold it for 5 seconds, it turns only the coils on.
See where the nerdiness is?
So many things you can do. So like right now we have it set up so we have of course the start button on the interior and ignition button, and then we have these bump buttons out here to bump it over. Well, if you're working on the car and you know you're kind of thrashing in between rounds, maybe somebody was pulling a tune out of, well, I guess it'd be me. I forget to turn the ignition off, and then somebody's out here running the valves and they go to bump it over, thing cranks up, could be a serious problem, definitely a safety hazard. So you can set it up to where if the ignition's on, like right now, if the ignition is on and I hit the bump button, it wouldn't bump.
Does it? So it knows that's not the actual starter button.
Yes.
That's the bump button.
So I had wired it to where it's got different inputs for the bump button. That way, if there's if somebody's in there and they're working on it and I go to bump it, what it's going to do is it's going to force the state of the ignition output, which is state 1, it's going to force it to state 0, which is off. So the thing will bump, but it'll turn the ignition off. So there's no way that you can start it. Now, There's some stuff you can do, like I'm gonna set up a button to where if you hold it for 10 seconds, it'll put it in maintenance mode, and then in maintenance mode, you could start it from the exterior, but it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be a lot of fail safes to where it's safe and.
Hold on, just look at me. We got maintenance mode.
Maintenance mode.
I mean, we got maintenance mode. What race cars you got? I got maintenance mode.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do all kinds of stuff. It's really, so I've done a couple cars. I did an NSX with the PMU and another Mustang. I've done several cars. Some street cars, like you can do like press the button one time, right turn signal, press it again, left turn signal, hold it down, hazards, like have the ECU control stuff, like the trans brake. John, for some reason, loves to hold the trans brake when he's backing up.
Dude, I love it. If you're driving a car, right, you don't want to damn fly an airplane on autopilot. You're not in there to sit in the seat. You want to fly that sucker. So when I'm backing up, I want to hold the trans brake.
Yeah, so when he's backing up and he's like got his arms wrapped around.
But I got it down though. Like you just hold the wheel like this. You just hold the wheel like this, and then you like turn the wheel. Like it's kind of like you're in Cali, and you're just like, and that's how you do it. You're not like over there holding it like this, and then
Really figured it out.
If you get here, dude, just sell it. Like park it, back it right all the way out of the lanes for sale. Like if you're ever like this, and you got to take your hand off and then dude. Rookie hour.
Well, if he ever gets to where he doesn't like that, I'll set it up to where you put it in whenever it's in neutral, and the neutral safety switch, whenever it sees that input, you hit the trans brake 3 times in like 2 seconds or 1 second or whatever you want, and it'll lock the trans brake on. So that's your reverse function. You pull it out of gear, or you hit the trans brake again, it cancels it out, comes on. So we're gonna have everything. We'll have brake pressure whenever we start plumbing the brakes. So like the brake lights and everything will go off that. You can do an emergency start mode to where.
So will you be able to log brake pressure and be like, oh shit, you're really on the brakes right there?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So you can see like.
So you can see like, then we could do a real in-depth video on how to stage a turbo car properly, because then you could actually see on the data with the damn brake pressure. A lot of you guys don't understand when you stage a turbo car, you're supposed to drive with 2 feet. God gave you 2 feet, okay? Stage with both of them. If you only have 1 foot, purchase a line lock.
Yeah, so I have a line lock. See, so John drags the brakes. I have a line lock on MK Ultra, so whenever I go up, I press the trans brake down, and that puts it in the staging mode, and then I depress the brake pedal, and then when it gets to 300 pounds of brake pressure, the line lock comes on automatically. The dash says, hey, the line lock's active, and I just let off the brake. So it's the same exact brake pressure every single time, so it's not like, did I drag too much, did I drag a little bit? Every single time it's the exact same, and it's all automated. So literally you go up there. I'm a huge proponent of removing a lot of things from the driver, because even if you're a good driver, remember, I guarantee you there's one time that John has forgot to do something. The computer does not forget to do something.
Never. Stay on top of your shit, people.
Yep. So we're gonna do a lot of things. The like the boost control, you arm the boost control. It's got the up here in the front, we got some ride sensors. So I'm gonna be running like the CO2 is gonna come out here and go into this, but it's also gonna tee off and go to the right. So we'll be able to tell CO2 pressure after the CO2 valve, and like the keypad has different colors, 7 colors, and you can mix those. So you got like all kinds of different colors you can do, and you arm the boost controller and it'll be red if the CO2 is off. If it sees CO2 pressure above 100 psi and you arm the boost controller, then it'll go green. That way, John, you look up, you don't have to look at the dash, because you got a lot of stuff going on the dash. With that, you can just look up, everything's green, it's good to go. So it, yeah, I mean, we got all kinds of data on this thing. Yeah, this thing's gonna, I mean, this build is, I know it's taken a while, but if you guys understand how much stuff we have going on, in what we're doing now is we're really trimming the fat. We're downsizing, we're getting away a lot of vehicles. It was fun having all this stuff, but I guess really once I started working on them, as much as I work on them now every single day in the shop, I realized it's overwhelming. Before, Matt would just be working on them and be like, no, we can get one more car, one more car. I was like, yeah, let's do another one.
Yeah, and Matt's just like, no, let's not do it, and then we do it anyways. So we're going to reduce quantity for quality. Not really that we've had a quality issue, but I think just like time-wise, I have no life. Like, I'm in the shop all day, every single day, every single night. Not saying that I hate it, but it would be nice to maybe like get something done and look at it, and then like spend some time polishing it, or spend a little more time testing it. Because once we get all these cars done, we will have to dedicate a lot of time to test all of them and maintain all of them. Yep. So, and we're getting what it is. We're getting closer to having them all done. They're all getting further and further on their journey to completion. So, this thing here is badass. what we have to do, like, we're essentially going to pretty much disassemble everything. We're gonna take the motor plates out and trim those. So we'll have everything down to like just the bare block in there, and then everything else will be off of it, and then we'll really reinstall everything and kind of go from there.
Right now it's in mock-up. Like the headers aren't really bolted up. They got tape on the exhaust flanges, and I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that you just need to go through and do one good final. Put it together and make sure that everything's tight. It's got the right hardware in it, and that'll really help out. But
so yeah, that's what we got going on. A bunch of people helping us out with this build: Holley EFI, Rock Solid Motorsports, HCR Innovations, Matt Smith at Performance Fab did a bunch of stuff, mounted the Holley and the Holley dash and our button and everything, and just did a lot of little punch list stuff. That's what you guys understand. A lot of this little stuff takes a lot of time. So we're in good hands now with Matt and myself holding the flashlight. I'm gonna hold the shit out of the flashlight on this build.
Stuff John Fab in the house.
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna help me fab on this?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's something that needs to be zip tied. Just kidding. John, I mean, so how long have I been? A couple years? Year?
Yeah, you probably had 2 years of us knowing each other.
John's his skills have substantially increased, so he's definitely getting.
I used to just sit in the office.
Hey, he used to just sit in the office, but
now I hold the flashlight.
Yeah, no,
you actually hold the flashlight on what it needs to be held on.
Come up, game. Yeah, strong. So, oh yeah, we got Turbo Smart stuff on this. I mean, there's just so many companies that help us out with this, and it's gonna be a badass car. So,
there we go. Wastegate position, so we'll be able to tell kind of what that wastegate's doing. We got blow-off valve position because we're gonna do some stuff with that. Turbo shaft speed. By far, this car will have the most data that we've ever had on any car. All the data that, you know, we should have on the sheep, you know, this one will have. And it's really, you know, you can go really fast without it, and you know we've shown that you can. But having it, you can see if you got problems, you can see where you can improve. You know, there's really no such thing. I don't think. Some people say there's some, you know, too much data, but I think those people just don't interpret the data well. So if you can interpret it, I don't think there's such thing as too much data.
Well, there you have it, guys. Slick Rick's back. I'm sure we missed a bunch of stuff talking about this. If you guys want to see like in-depth stuff on the wiring, go check out Devin's video on his channel. He kind of goes over everything that he's done while he had it. The wiring harness on it looks great. I mean, if you compare that, I mean, this is, I mean, pretty much here, right back here, this is the entire engine harness, right? This is it. It's the entire engine harness. So, it's badass. That's all it is. You got to pull the motor out. You did the sheep is set up the same way. I mean, honestly, any of these custom configuration harnesses where it's like built on the car, compared to like a standard Holley harness, I mean, there's really no comparison. So, yeah, it's badass. We got all of our data on here. We got all of our stuff. It's time to put it together, and as Matt would say, we got to build it. So now we're going to end this video and we're going to start the build it process.
Yeah, we're going to build it. We're going to push it in there and start.
Just start building it.